All right. We are live. Am I coming through loud and clear? How's everybody doing out there tonight? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Hello, Joshua. Hello, Jesus. Hello, Biscuit. Hey, Michael, Nicolette, Sean. Oh, we got two Seans in the chat. Okay, I'm coming through loud and clear. All right, very cool. All right, awesome. Well, hope everybody's having a good Friday evening. Hello, Demented Pictures. How are you? We have a very unique opportunity tonight for everybody out there who is a horror convention goer, or for anybody out there who wants to attend a horror convention and maybe they've never had an opportunity for one reason or another. Tonight is a night where we get the opportunity to help Horicon, a new convention that's launching next year. Our feedback, our input can help shape it to become a very, very special experience. Now, what Horicon wants to do already is really exciting, as far as not just it being another horror convention, but it being a very community oriented thing for people at the convention and for people at home. So I think we've got something here with Horicon that I think could be very, very special, but we need your all's input and your all's feedback. So I will post a link to be able to join us, to jump on the stream and actually ask my guest tonight questions or offer feedback, any kind of input, to help make Horicon the best horror convention, period. So my guest tonight is the events director of Horicon, Ms. Joanna Young. How are you doing, Joanna?
Doing well. How are you guys?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's awesome. So let's just dive right into it. We've got a pretty lively chat so far, and I'm sure once all the notifications and stuff go out, the audience will grow. So why don't we start things off by giving everybody an overview of what Horicon is and what Horicon could be, with all of our feedback and the assistance of people like my viewers out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a very ambitious and lively group planning this event, and really this community. A better word for it is going to be the Horicon community, because it's not just about one event every year. Horicon.com is going to be the place for horror. Not just news articles or things like that. There's several amazing websites out there and amazing companies out there, but really bringing people together. So Horicon itself, the live event, will be a fan convention, film festival, and film marketplace. So a lot of people out there talking about the horror convention side of it aren't used to necessarily the film side of it being involved. So what that involves is people competing for prizes. The marketplace is helping people get their creative work out there sold to the right buyer. And one of the things I'm very, very excited about the film festival and film marketplace is that we are going to completely disrupt it. The traditional format of a film marketplace is that you go out, you go to these parties afterwards, you meet people, you network. And I don't know about you, but I know a lot of creative types, and they are not necessarily also the social networking, selling themselves types.
Right.
So what we want to do is, part of the website aspect will be about creating profiles and connections. So we will make sure that the best work gets recognized and that the right fit is found. You know, sometimes there's a producer or a buyer that's just not the right fit for a certain creative, but there's something that they're looking for to fill their portfolio. Right. So that's a part I'm really excited about. And to explain a little bit of a difference in what we're doing, And then the convention itself. So one of the biggest complaints when people go to any type of convention, but mostly pop culture conventions, whether it be a comic book or a horror convention, is lack of organization. And so that is one of the things you're getting that's very different about us. We are not just horror fans, but more than half of our team has 15 years each experience, including myself, in the hospitality and events industry. So almost before horror fans were planners first. Um,
Let
my
me
Oh yeah, go ahead.
let me break down something really quick.
Yeah.
For everybody who's been to a horror convention, you kind of get the feeling that more or less if you've seen one, you've kind of seen them all. You know the layout, you know what the sort of the everything is like. So this isn't just another convention. This is also a film festival, as you mentioned, and there's been some conventions that have had film festivals or they do screenings and stuff along with the convention. But what makes this one really unique too is that it is a film marketplace. So if you're an independent filmmaker, and I know there's some in my chat, and you've made a film, this is the place where you can take your film and get it seen by people who can buy your movie and distribute your movie, or things of that nature. So that also makes it really unique also. And the event, most horror conventions are like a weekend long, 3 days. This is going to be a 6-day event. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's our goal, is for first year to be at least 6 days. And that's convention, film festival, everything. And that way it's not just Saturday, Sunday. That's not really a lot of fun for a lot of people, because if they can go, it's one day. And if it's a Saturday, it tends to be really crowded, but a lot of people can't because they work weekends.
I hear that from so many people that, I can't go on a weekend because I work weekends.
Yeah.
So
and that ruins all the fun.
Yeah.
And we don't want to save just the best for the weekends either. There will be amazing stuff throughout the week.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things that really excited me about the whole Horicon thing is the website and the fact that it's going to, like you said, a community. It's going to be a very interactive community where even if you're someone who can't attend the convention that year, there's going to be tons of coverage, interviews with celebrities. You'll have access to panel discussions, live streams, all that sort of stuff. So even if you can't be there physically, you can sort of get a taste of the convention through the website. That I think is really cool. And I'm kind of surprised that there's not been a convention that's tried to tap into that before now.
Yeah, I agree. I do think one of the biggest benefits to it and why we're going to be able to do that is our founder, Benny Attori, which I'm sure you've read lots about him, but he is very well connected and he knows a lot of people that are excited about this. And so we'll actually be able to make those connections and have the ability to watch a movie online with the director or some of the cast and talk to them about it. And what did you love about it? What was the craziest thing that happened on set? Like, what was the moment where you thought, oh my God, my project's not going to happen? Because every business has that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Films.
And how cool would that be to be able to go to this website, to have a watch party where you watch a movie with fellow horror fans, discussing the movie with fellow horror fans, and the filmmaker or an actor or two. That's something that's really, I think something that's very special also.
I think so too. I mean, I am an organization freak, so that makes me happy. And that is a huge part of the website to me, is to be able to have schedules, events, updates really quickly, making everything clear for people if something changes. But I'm getting even more and more excited about the functionality of this platform that we're creating. If you look at it right now, it's basically a landing page with a couple other items, but we're building in the background, obviously. And it's going to be such an amazing community that there may be a live event once a year, or hopefully more once we get going, but it will be where you can go for horror and to connect with other fans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Actually, somebody in the chat asked, where's it going to be? And the first year, which the launch is going to be next October,
Yes.
and it's going to be set in.
So right now we're looking at Phoenix. So as of this morning, we've had some cities bidding on becoming our permanent home, and I can't share more of that yet. So we can't say completely 100% sure Phoenix for sure, but right now that's what we're looking for, and then possibly adjusting our home. If we do Phoenix all the time, then we also want to grow into the possibility of doing a Horicon roadshow type of item where we can go to other cities, and maybe it's a smaller version, but it's some of the uniqueness that is Horicon versus other conventions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was one thing that when I spoke to Benny, I stressed. I said, Phoenix is great and all, but where I live, this area of the country is Horror Convention Central. And he was like, oh, we're going to expand.
Yes.
Don't worry about it. So for everybody who lives on the East Coast, or if you live in what I like to call Convention Alley, which is Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, the Carolinas, Indiana, there's a good possibility that it could expand. This isn't just going to be one of those that's locked down to one static location.
Yeah. That's what we're excited about. I mean, obviously, it's going to take work and it's going to take success. We need to be successful our first few years. But we're also very ambitious people and we know how to get things done. So I have faith that that will be very quick.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that's always kind of a sticking point when it comes to the first time conventions, and anybody who's been a convention goer and you go to that first year convention, there's always the first convention woes. You know what I mean? There's a lot of the fly by night ones. There's a lot of ones that first year is very, very rough. Tell me about, you started to mention it a little bit earlier about your background, but tell me about yourself and the Horicon team, and specifically your experience when it comes to organizing these kinds of events.
So that is something we're very excited about. So the reason our team even came together, or at least I became part of it, is because one of my former coworkers, Sean, was like, hey, we're doing this and I need you. And I was like, cool, let's do this. This sounds amazing. And it's because we work together in San Francisco at the Marriott Marquis there. So we have run several events for up to 100,000 people, specifically Pokemon Worlds competition, which was about 10,000 people. Imagine 5,000 people in line in the city of San Francisco on a block. That was fun to watch. We've done SF Comic Con, we've done Facebook, Salesforce, and Oracle. Salesforce is up to about 140,000 citywide now. Oracle's been down a little bit, but they were still over 60,000 people citywide. So we've done it all. The other part is that we both have events background and really, really heavy security background. I can't announce it yet who it is, but we worked with a team that worked on Pokemon Worlds, and they work with Fortnite, but this is the highest end security you've ever met in your life. And I don't mean just making sure everybody's behaving. I mean thinking of all of the safety precautions you can imagine. He's also very much the unofficial fire marshal the way I am, so it makes me happy because we're all about that. So organization is definitely our forefront.
Organization is something that's big on my list when I go to a convention, and I see it even when it comes to conventions that have been around for years and years. When it comes to organization, it's absolute chaos. And I'm sure everybody's been to a convention like that where even getting in line to get a ticket is chaos. Or you go up to an event staff and you say, hey, where is this? And their answer is, I don't know. And then they just walk away. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't know should not be in a convention staff member's vocabulary. And if they truly don't know, they need to get on that walkie-talkie and find somebody who does know.
Yes. big time. I cannot handle that. That's kind of like saying it's not my job. You don't do that.
Right.
And so that's perfect because ask Sean, he'll tell you how annoying I am about giving too much information. But I also like to do it in 1,000 different ways. So, like I said, the website, and once we get it into the app form, we'll have literally everything you can imagine, plus some. I'm great at emergency preparation. And then also our staff. If someone has a shirt that says staff or volunteer or anything, they will be well versed or they will not be part of it. On top of that, I've got a very interesting company that does a new type of walkie-talkie reaching out to me right now that will allow us to be computer based on there. So we will be able to have our own personal Horicon Google person to sit there and answer all those questions.
Wow.
Should someone go, oh my gosh, I'm really scared. Someone asked me a question and I don't know if I know the answer. Hey, Joe, where's this at? Cool. Done. It's fine.
You've got your own Alexa there.
Exactly. Yeah, except a real person.
Yeah. And I see a lot of people in the chat saying, well, I live here and I live there and I don't live close to Phoenix. But again, they're looking at expanding and moving. And one thing that's really cool is if you're on the website, this is something that I've spoken to Benny about also. I think I spoke to you about it too, Joanna, is having somebody on the ground, boots on the ground at other conventions, reporting from other conventions via Horicon's website. So not just Horicon related, but say Horror Hound in Indiana, somebody representing Horicon will be there interviewing celebrities, filming the Q&A panels, doing live streams. And say you live in Alaska and you want to check in on Horror Hound, you can go to horicon.com and there's, some goof like me there hounding the celebrities and recording everything to share with you guys. Am I right?
Security watch out for you.
You may have to have a security member with me. Yes.
That's exactly what we want to do. Now, obviously, this means making more relationships with those other conventions.
Right.
We wouldn't ever want anyone to think that we're like trying to take their stuff. We're trying to share it with the world because the truth is not everybody can get there and we want them to be able to. Why not let them enjoy what you're doing? So
yeah. And that's something that I was really excited about too, is that, the website isn't just about Horicon, but it's about Horicons and it's about being a fan of Horicons. So, there's so many possibilities with the website and it being so interactive and really a community. That's the thing, a community.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to describe it. Bring everybody together.
Yeah. So what I'd like to do is have everybody who's watching sound off either by posting questions in the chat or joining the stream. And I'll post a link where you'll be able to join the stream if you want to jump on and ask questions or offer feedback or anything like that. I'll have that link posted here shortly. If you're a patron of mine, I've already posted it on Patreon, so you guys have first dibs. So go over to Patreon. That link is there now, and I'll share it with everybody else here momentarily. But yeah. First impressions are really important with any convention. We've talked about the organization, which is a huge thing for me, staff members, being trained or if they don't know, calling someone who does know. That's a big thing for me. And as far as first impressions are concerned. And I know one thing that is going to make Horicon unique is that there's going to be a theme for each convention. So it's not just going to be, people at tables and at a gymnasium or at a convention center at the Holiday Inn. You're going to gussy this thing up. You're going to make it almost like, I don't know, like a costume party or like some sort of immersive, an immersive experience.
Yes. Without giving away too much. Okay, so a lot of people are gamers, right? You love doing quests and gathering stuff. So let's say we were doing a zombie theme. I'm not saying we are. I'm just
Mhm.
saying if we were.
Mhm.
So being able to participate in some activities and challenges and gain some little extras, whether it be a challenge coin or a pass to something or whatnot. So doing a few things like that, having a little zombie survival game going, and just little things like that to really bring the theme out. But definitely we'll be doing some contests. Something I should mention, because this will be very exciting and important, is we are going to film a feature length movie at Horicon.
Mm.
So attendees will be able to audition. Again, something we will set up so that you can do it on the website beforehand, and that way you'll know. And you can wear your own costume. So again, say it was zombie related, just a really easy example. You could wear your own costume for it, and people will be able to compete for writing the script, etc. And then you're going to get to work with Hollywood producers, directors on making this. So it's, I don't want to call it a film school, but it's like a film school and you get to act in your movie. So we're going to set aside money to do that every year, which we're pretty excited about.
That is really cool because one thing, my girlfriend, she's not a big horror fan, but she likes going to conventions with me to people watch. She loves looking at costumes and when people really go all out with their costumes, she loves that. She wants to take pictures with them. She's like, forget the celebs. I want to
Yeah.
take a picture with this person that spent, 40 hours creating their I don't know, Skeletor outfit or their
Yeah.
what's his name from Labyrinth, David Bowie's character from Labyrinth.
Oh my God. No, you
Uh
had to ask me that.
something with a J, I think. But
No.
yeah, that's her favorite part of it is the people watching and like just really the costumes and stuff. She really gets into that part of the conventions.
Oh, I totally get it. I am not really a makeup girl. And so when people do amazing makeup, our friend Josh that is participating, he's a huge horror fanatic. His girlfriend does special effects makeup, and I'm just like watching her stuff like, this is so cool. I want to take pictures of this and just things like that. So I love to people watch.
Yeah. My buddy Biscuit asks a really interesting, really good question. He says, Jeremy would love this, would like to see him attend or take part in it. Now, for people who have disabilities, a lot of conventions that I've been to when it comes to disabilities and accessibility for disabled people, whether it's a physical disability or a developmental or intellectual disability, most conventions just don't, they don't really put much thought into that part of their community, which is sad.
Yeah.
What are you guys going to do to make Horicon as accessible as possible to not just to people with disabilities, but to their caregivers as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really ironic you asked this because my sister has her master's in special education. And I was just talking to her the other day about, hey, help me figure this out because what I'm used to in planning and disabilities is honestly fire code and ADA compliance, right? And that's
Mhm.
not, that doesn't cover anybody really. And it does cover a lot, but it's not the same thing. So she gave me some really great ideas. I don't want to say the word sensory deprivation room, but sensory reduction rooms and how we could do that and make it possible for people that maybe it is too much light, it's too much flashing, too many people bumping into you.
Mhm.
And then making some special walkway. I have noticed, especially at really, really big conventions that will remain nameless, is they'll be doing things like signings at a booth on the exhibit floor and
Mhm.
everybody will crowd around it
Mhm.
and create this just massive mess. And so maybe you want to see that person too, but holy cow, that crowd makes you anxious and someone touches you and it's over. And so to be able to walk away, yes, but also to have special walkways so that there is space for that and having security help us so that you can get safely through without being touched or pushed and things like that. And then also, there's no way I'm letting that happen in booths. That's going to need to be in safe spaces, because I'm not letting people all run into each other and get hurt.
Yeah.
So
One thing that I would recommend is Disney World has something called a DAT pass, and that's where if you're someone who's disabled, like my brother, for instance, who's standing in a long line would just be kind of too much for him, he would get access early. He wouldn't have to stand in that long line. Not necessarily VIP treatment or preferential treatment, but
yeah,
come
more comfortable.
Exactly. They make it a little bit more comfortable. That's something that I would recommend also.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I do
taking notes while we chat.
and I do I've mentioned this before in chats, but every time we talk about disabled people at conventions, I always think of Matthew Lillard. If he's at a convention and you're disabled, you come to the front of his line immediately.
Yeah.
So he's really cool with disabled folks.
I think it's important. Like, again, access matters.
Yeah.
And there's some of us that have the ability to do whatever we want without that issue. And that doesn't mean it's fair.
Right.
Trying to get the right words there. And I don't want to be a place that doesn't create access for people.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that would be a big thing for me, because I would love to take Jeremy to a convention, but I'm always concerned about, him, becoming overly stimulated. And him, he sees Brad Dourif or Robert Englund, and he just runs up to them to give him a hug. You know what I mean? Because he loves them so much, but he may not understand. You gotta wait in line. You're gonna. He would understand it, but I think he would get so excited he would just take off.
Well, and I think that's an important training piece. I mean, I know we all know. I don't want to bring sad news up, but there was an autistic gentleman that was shot and killed, and his caregiver tried to say, no, he's autistic. He doesn't understand. Please don't do this. And that's something that will be very important to our security team too. Just because someone's running up to hug, like, we'll be doing weapons check. There will be no way of something like that being a really true threat. But to know that no one's a threat doing that, and to just have that actual proper training into dealing with that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's something that I was going to bring up next. Is something that's important to me is convention, is security at one of these things. I want to go to a convention and feel like I'm safe there. You know what I mean? So can we talk a little bit more about, I know you brought up that you were working with some security to help make it.
Yeah, I feel like it's safe to talk about him. I just don't ever want to say for sure this is who we're working with until contracts are signed. But I met Eric in San Francisco working Pokemon Worlds competition. And he does this thing called the red ball exercise that is just the best training I've ever seen for an active shooter training, which is sad, but that's something we do have to think about these days. And it's not just here's what you do. First you run, then you hide, then you try to throw a chair or something, right? Like these are your 1, 2, 3 steps. But he actually puts you through, what would you do in this situation? So you're thinking about it. Okay, well, I'm standing in the lobby and I would run out to valet, or I would go here. So he does that with his team. And he just has this totally different sense of how things should work. And it's I think it might be a natural ability, but I really, really like his team that we worked with. He does great trainings, and he's willing to train people while he's on site and just show them this, so you can fully spread that knowledge and thinking.
That's great. That's absolutely fantastic. Joe Reese has a very good suggestion here. He says, or let people with disabilities come in a couple hours early to meet people before you let the rest of the public in.
Definitely. I really like that idea.
Yeah, I think that's a very good idea, Joe. Thank you. So yeah, that's, the organization and security are two big things for me. But I did a poll on my channel, and it got a pretty good They got a pretty good number of votes. I basically asked, when it comes to convention going, what is the most important elements of a convention for you? The celebrities, a well-organized, spacious venue with good security, price, location, or all of the above. Of course, all of the above won handily. We had over 300 votes. But number 2 on the list, right after all of the above, was, of course, celebrities. When it comes to conventions, to really make a splash and to really get people excited, first and foremost is who's going to be there. And we've already had some people ask, have you reached out to anybody? I don't think we're at the point of announcing anybody just yet, but well, go ahead, Joanna. Tell us a little bit more about Benny, and I think people will get an understanding of.
Totally. So Benny is a director and producer and entrepreneur of all things, but he knows literally everyone always. I'm like, oh, so and so, and he's like, oh yeah, I know him, I'll call him. But anyway, so very well connected. One of the things we do want to do, and I'll tell more about it later, but we've put together a little quick survey, is we want to know who matters most to everybody, so that we know who we should go after for the first year and who we should ask. And, you know, you've mentioned a couple of times to me Kevin Bacon. So obviously Benny's going to be calling him up ASAP. I'm not saying he's doing it. Don't.
I told Benny, I said, Benny, if you want to make a splash, the first year, you want to get everybody excited about this, Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon's never done a convention before. He's somebody who, if you're a Friday the 13th fan,
Yeah,
you want that autograph on your poster or on your copy of Crystal Lake Memories. And when I told Benny that, Benny goes, Kevin, I love Kevin. Kevin's great. Oh yeah, Kevin, I'll get on that. So he's Benny's
Benny.
Yeah.
After this,
Benny's worked with actors like Al Pacino, Jessica Chastain, Dennis Hopper. Of course, unfortunately, Dennis Hopper is no longer with us, but could you imagine you get Dennis Hopper at a convention? My goodness.
right?
But yeah, he's he's connected.
The most recent film that he has out is The Last Movie Star. It's on Amazon, and I was like dying, crying. It was so good.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows a lot of people, and I think that we should just lay down this challenge for him to get Kevin Bacon. Maybe that needs to be it. Like, if you get fully funded for everything, Benny, you got to make it happen.
Benny, you've got it. I'm sure Benny's watching.
Off now.
I'm sure Benny's watching. Benny, you've got to make that happen. Kevin Bacon, if you want to make a splash, every horror outlet would be posting on it. It would get the word out about Horicon like that. You'd have so much excitement about Horicon. But you mentioned the survey. That link is in the description below us. So if you guys want to go over and take a look at it, there's some great questions there. Check that out.
Yeah. So we want Horicon to be for the fans, by the fans.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even if it's not just by the fans, but for everybody and for horror fans. So we made a quick little survey on our website. So it's horicon.com/by-the-fans, but there's a link in there, so it's easier. And just a few questions. I did ask for people's addresses because we are going to do some giveaways for doing the survey. So I'll be mailing out some stuff. So don't think we're going to use that for anything, just so we can mail it out without reaching out. Don't be paranoid. So just some questions. Who's your favorite actor? What's your favorite series? What's your favorite book? Or do you know any horror artists that we need to know about that we don't know about? I've been very big into art and enamel pins. One of the guys that used to work with us, Glenn, is an amazing horror artist. And I'm like, come on, do this commercially. You be so good at it. So we want to know more about artists too.
Yeah, I know a lot of really good artists who would be perfect for the show.
I think so too.
We've got a lot of people in chat just throwing names out there. These are the people that don't just share them on the chat. Go fill out the survey, and there you go. I see Ozzy Argento. I see Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell would be huge. I
Yeah.
don't know if Kurt Russell's ever done a convention before, but that would be enormous. I see Elvira, Danielle Harris, Kane Hodder, Nick Castle. So everybody's throwing out some people they'd like to see there.
Good ones.
Yeah, those are very good ones. I'm going to post the link to join us if you want to jump on the stream and actually ask questions or offer feedback. There is the link in the YouTube chat. I'll post the link here over on Twitch. There we go. So if you guys want to jump on and join the stream, and if you've got a question for Joanna, if you want to offer any kind of feedback, there you go.
I'm looking at the chat. I didn't know Glenn was watching. So Glenn Mercado, you're welcome. You're amazing. And I love you.
Oh, hello, Glenn. How are you?
He's an amazing artist. You would adore him.
Very nice.
While we're waiting for people, you want to hear a great story?
Absolutely. At first, I want to give a toast to everybody watching. I've got some Gross Gus's Bloody Nose soda here. So
I love it.
Cheers to everyone watching, and to you, Joanna, and to everything Horicon. But yeah, tell us a funny story.
So Glenn drew this terrifying clown on a big flip chart paper, like when you're in a conference, flip chart size. And they left it in my office, and I walk in at like 5 a.m. and it's dark, and turn it on and literally screamed running out of my office. So then I used it on someone else to get them back, and it became our fun little scare joke for a while, but it was terrifying, and I still have nightmares. So thanks, Glenn.
Well done, Glenn. Well done. Let's see here. We actually have somebody in the green room right now. This is Austin. Austin, are you there?
Oh, Piz, what's up?
How's it going, buddy? How are you doing?
It's going pretty good.
Have you got a question for Joanna or some feedback that you'd like to throw out there about how to make Horicon the best it can be?
Well, I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
So
definitely go check out the survey, Austin, and fill it out. You could win something, and let everybody know who you'd like to see at Horicon.
All right.
Well, thanks for stopping by, man. All right. So if anybody else is out there, if you'd like to jump on, the link is in the chat.
I'm like, don't be afraid. I see everybody chatting now that I know where to look at that. Oh, also tell Biscuit you're welcome. I just read through all these.
Oh, yeah.
I guess, you can probably hear me now.
So yeah, Biscuit had some very good feedback for us. Absolutely.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
So is there anything else that we need to let's talk about the Indiegogo, because you are looking at launching the Indiegogo soon. Why go? I think the obvious question from everybody will be, okay, well, why are you going the fan funding route instead of just sort of putting your own money and investing your own money into it?
So we all have been investing our own money into it. So we've been planning for a little over a year now, but we want to make this the biggest, baddest thing you've ever seen. And that's going to cost money. I did break it down. We were talking about it a little bit earlier, and now I wish that I had that pulled up. So give me 2 seconds and everybody just go with it.
Sure.
But it's costly to do that. We want to pay for the best celebrities to come. They don't just come for fun. I wish some do, but for the most part, you have to pay for it. And things like security, having the level of security that we're going to is going to be costly. Mm-hmm. So I broke it down. We have a goal that is very lofty, and you're probably going to die when you hear this, but we are trying to raise $2.1 million. So about 8% of that is actually goes to Indiegogo for the campaign fees, because obviously that's how they make money. And also they do the credit card processing charges, which those are usually like 3%. And then about 35% of it is going to be event production. So that's going to be badges, bags, chair, like setups, the actual convention center space, other venue rentals, paying for food and beverage. Obviously, we'll have to have drinks and coffee and stuff in green rooms for people. And then one of the biggest parts of the film festival side of things is doing the opening awards gala, awards dinner, parties in between, VIP events, which I will tell you more about later.
Ooh.
And then about 20% of our budget will be safety and security. So fire marshal, licenses, security team. 22% of that is going to our funder perks. So the perks that we are doing, that will be about that 22% of that is what it costs us to make a lot of those and get those ready. And then about 15% for staffing. So
What are we in the description underneath the video, there's a link, but it's only to like a landing page because it's not gone live just yet. When is it going live?
It's going live Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So it's a landing page. Here's a little bit about us, but if you want to leave your email address for us, you'll get to know right away when it's live so that you'll be able to participate. Another key point that I want to tell everybody now is that we will be doing a couple of referral contests. We obviously don't put those out right away, but so you know, once you sign up for your Indiegogo account, you'll be able to create different personal links so that you can share that. And that's not just with us, that's with other Indiegogo campaigns, but you'll be able to create your own link to the Horicon one. And so when you share that and people contribute through your link, then it will track that for us. And so we will have referral contests for different levels and then also for the people that get the highest amount. So there's going to be some fun ones there.
What are we looking at? And I think, you know, you're going big. You know, the thing is to go big. So that's kind of why they're asking for a lot of money, but they're putting it into the show. What are some of the perks that you guys have in mind?
So we start out with some smaller items. Obviously, for $5, it's going to be a genuine thank you and a virtual high five. We know there's a lot of people out there that support us that definitely, just don't have any interest in attending a convention or horror, but they love us and they want to support. There are going to be some limited edition posters. So think about the very first time a movie comes out and the very first movie poster and the artwork and things like that. So we're only going to make a certain amount of them and it'll be for the inaugural Horicon. So 20 years from now, that will be super valuable. And the fun part of that is we are going to ask for fan art for people to submit to be featured on that poster. So it will be their artwork. Same thing with the badges every year. So some things like that. We're going to do some special perks that will be released throughout. Benny's got a really cool design for a skull horror on keychain and enamel pins. I'm a total sucker for enamel pins, especially if they're skulls. So, you know, and then there will be some that are badges to the event. So you will literally be able to get your pass for half off. Obviously, this is a more expensive event to put on, so being able to get your badge half off is a big deal.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be some larger perks. So one of them will include your pass for the entire week. You'll be able to go to all the film festivals guaranteed seating. So normally when you go, you purchase like a basic badge will get you purchase your tickets to certain screenings still, right? So this one will include guaranteed seating too. So if you sign up and you say, hey, I signed up for this one and I have my slasher pass, you're guaranteed seating at it, which I think is a big deal because after running around all day, I want to sit to watch that movie, not stand around in the back.
Yeah.
And they will include a walk down our green carpet. So in addition to making things accessible, we are also very, very passionate about the environment and being eco-friendly. So we are doing a themed green carpet as well as a lot of other activities to make sure that we reduce waste and our carbon footprint while we're there. But we'll be doing a green carpet for the opening gala. And then the awards dinner will be a big black tie affair. So we tell everyone buying the Demons package to make sure they pack their tuxes and ball gowns and get ready to meet some awesome celebrities and have a fun party.
Very cool.
That's exciting. Yeah.
My buddy Lauren, who is a published author, he wants to know, will writers be relegated to the merchant room or treated properly?
You will definitely be treated properly. I am so sorry that happens. That makes me sad.
Yeah, there's with the seems like with a lot of writers and like the comic book artists and stuff, they kind of separate them from the film actors and stuff. They sort of put them in their own little room, or they stick them with the merchants. Not that there's anything wrong with the vendors and stuff, but just I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of types that do, like, I would call it an artist table for people that don't necessarily have the ability to have a big booth. But no, our expo is going to all be together. No one's getting separated.
That's very cool.
Because that,
yeah,
I like watching these pop up.
Let's see if there's any other questions in the chat. A lot of people are saying this is going to be awesome. They're really excited. You guys need a Scream Factory booth. I'm sure there'll be lots of, your Scream Factories and your Arrow videos and, Synapse, Vinegar Syndrome will be represented there, I'm sure.
Big time. There are a lot of people that we're going after to be like, hey, you have to be here. I need to see your stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Blair wants the one dude from Crocodile Dundee.
The one
go to the survey and put in that one guy from Crocodile Dundee. They'll know who you're
Google, so I'll know what to do.
They'll know who you're talking about. Don't worry about it.
I can never get the actress name right when I need to.
Oh, what is that guy's name from Paul Hogan? Wasn't it Paul Hogan? I think that was his name.
Like, what else do I have to tell you about?
Will the conventions have any workshops, like making your own horror movie workshop or special effect? Ooh, a special effects workshop. Ooh, Joanna, a special effects workshop with Tom Savini. How fun would that be?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Ooh.
I'm writing this down, but yes, I cannot believe I even forgot to talk about this. So, again, do you know what makes me totally disgusted when I see conventions? And please don't judge me. They're all the basic theater style setup with a stage and a head table of like 4 to 6 people and a podium and a step and repeat behind them with its logoed like crazy. And I get it. You need to brand the heck out of your event. But it's so boring. And you know what? It does not involve the audience. So I want to get creative with our sets and really immerse the audience when it is something that's more like a panel and someone's talking to you. But we are going to be doing hands-on events or hands-on training. So there will be some classes that are definitely oriented towards the film festival track. So things like how to get your film financed and stuff like that. But then there will also be some, like, we really want to find a couple of makeup artists that I've been talking to already to do some special effects makeup and how to do this and literally everything. I'm hoping Morgan will teach some stuff. Wait till you see our video on our pitch or our Indiegogo pitch video when it comes out. Like, the special effects are killer.
One thing that we had mentioned, that you'd mentioned to me before we went live, was like a murder mystery type thing, where people could be part of like a murder mystery. I thought that would be really fun.
I think so too. I think it'd be really cool. And this doesn't have to be like only a one-time thing. That can be an event throughout. Like, it can happen a few times. And yeah, if there's a lot of interest, we might have to do sign-up times. Like, hey, you're signed up for this time, but you're there. You have your spot. You're guaranteed to be able to participate in this. But we also want to do some mystery throughout the convention and things to figure out. I don't want to say like a treasure hunt, but similar.
That would be fun.
I mean, I like a treasure hunt, so that
would be fun. Yes. Right. Yes.
So
Or even, you the special effects workshop. How about an acting workshop
yes, definitely.
with Eric Freeman, for instance, an Eric Freeman acting workshop?
Yeah.
I'd attend that.
I need to go to a voice acting one. The
Ooh.
boys will all tell you this because I stink at that, to put it nicely.
Mm.
Not my goal in life. I'll just plan events and stay behind the scenes.
Let's see. Oh, my friend Jamie says she is a total convention noob.
Are you?
We have to, Jamie, I did a video a while back about how to survive a convention or your first convention. I don't remember, but you should check that video out. What are some of your convention survival guidelines, Joanna?
Oh, okay. So first off, hydrate. That really needs to,
Yes.
and know where the bathrooms are ahead of time. Especially as a female, the lines are always so long. So know
Yes.
where the secret ones are. Um, do not go not fed. Like eat something high in protein because you will get tired. And if you don't bring your water bottle with you, you will get thirsty and you will not last the day.
Mhm.
The other part is just be patient and have a game plan. Like literally have a map and a list of what you want so that you can do it efficiently. So you can be like, okay, so and so's here. This booth is here. I want to hit these two before I go to that one so that I don't have to go here, here. Oh no, back here. Like having a game plan.
Yeah, and somebody mentioned in the chat a little while ago, like a map, which I think would be fantastic. Either a physical map or have something that people can pull up on their phone to say, okay, this celebrity's here, this workshop's here, this Q&A's here, this screening starts at this time. That would be fantastic.
Oh, that will be happening.
Yeah.
Because again, I like not only written directions and oral directions, but also visual. So
Mm-hmm.
I like it all. And if I have my way, it will be an interactive map.
And here's something I'd like to stress to all convention goers out there, not just to you, Jamie. I'm sure you'll be fine in this area. Shower. Take a shower.
And wear deodorant.
Take
please.
a shower, wear some deodorant, bring some gum or like some mints. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna do a lot of walking around. You're gonna be sweating. You're gonna be in close quarters with people. You're gonna be shaking hands with. I met Lou Diamond Phillips a couple of years ago, and afterwards, after I met him, I was like, "Oh, my breath stinks." Lou Diamond Phillips probably thinks my breath stinks now. Oh, why didn't I have some gum or a mint or something? So those are the things you've got to think about when you're going to your convention. We're going to a convention, but please just shower, some deodorant. That's not asking much, I don't think. And if anybody's been to a convention and you're in close quarters, you've been near one of those people. Don't be one of those people. Please.
This is cracking me up. I love it. If you don't know, you know now.
Yes, very important.
I
would
just
also
saw a cool comment about director's workshop. Michael. Okay.
Ooh, that would be a good one. A director's workshop, like if you had I don't know. Somebody mentioned Sean Cunningham in the chat. He would fit in perfectly if Benny was able to get Kevin Bacon there. Sean Cunningham directed the original Friday the 13th, so he'd be a great one. There's a lot of great directors out there, and a director's workshop would be phenomenal.
I think so too. That'd be really cool. And what to look for.
I think that'd be a great idea. So let's see. Any other questions in the chat? You guys, come on, throw some questions at us. The link is there, I believe. I'll repost the link if anybody wants to jump on. All right, there's the link in the chat again. If you guys want to jump on. Monster Mania in the summer is terrible. Any convention in the summer, if it's close quarters, it's going to be rough. Yes, it's going to be rough. Build a hawk workshop. That's a very good one. Yeah. How to paint a hockey mask. That'd be a good workshop for sure.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Okay, definitely put these in the survey for me too. The very last question I put on there is, what else do we need to know? Feel free. Have a
Exactly.
blast.
Yeah. Sandra wants Tom Savini. Tom Savini would be great, and especially if you did like a special effects workshop. I mean, goodness gracious, he'd be the man for that for sure.
Oh, you know what? Sandra has an amazing Facebook group called the Boo Crew that she puts the greatest questions up.
Ah, very cool, Sandra.
Jess wants to run the build a hockey mask.
He says Piz could run the build a hockey mask. Perhaps, yeah.
Definitely thought that was please at first. We're putting you to work now.
I know. Jeez.
It's okay. We've thrown down the challenge for Benny. He hasn't called me yet to tell me to stop talking.
Yeah, I wonder. He's probably watching, going, "Oh God, what are they getting me into here?"
It'll be more fun for us.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's see. Hold on, just 1 second. Adrian King would be great. She also does art. Yeah. What was Jess's the hockey mask thing? Okay.
Oh, so physical map, totally.
Physical map, yeah.
We all like it in different ways. I like to mark mine up on my phone too.
Mm-hmm. The physical map you can put in your back pocket. So have the one on your phone. Yeah. This is Ron. I used to work with Joanna and Sean, and they are truly professional and know what they're talking about. Oh, very nice.
Aw, that was awesome.
Amy Steele. Jamie, if there's a survey in the description where you can send information directly to them as far as who you'd like to see at the convention, and you'd be entered to win some free giveaways and stuff too.
Yeah, we're going to send some cool stuff out.
Yeah. Will you be doing competitions like creating your own slasher killer and picking from the best and giving the winner a shirt or a free pass?
Ooh,
you mean like it? Oh, yeah, that could be like a nice art project.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Tell me I can still read through all these comments after.
Yes. Once we go off the air, it'll be archived on my channel. So
cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to share with us about Horicon?
I think it's a big thing about the Indiegogo. Even if you can't go to the event or you don't see yourself being able to next year, if you just share it and help us get it started, then there's no reason you can't the next year, or at least participate online. So the more that we get funded, the better the website will be, and the better the platform to share everything and be able to participate as a community will be. So even if you can't go, share the Indiegogo. And again, maybe you'll be the one that gets the free passes to all the parties and the event and the film festival, and need to bring your tux and gown.
There you go. Yeah. And again, what they want to do with the website, I think, is so cool, but that's something that's going to cost money when it comes to servers and admins and all that stuff. But it would all be contained right there on the website, which is, I think, really cool. So you won't have to connect Discord and the website and then your own, it'll all be right there on the website.
Yes, I want it to connect to all of those too. And again, it would be awesome so we can hire someone that can make a better website than I can, because that is not my skill set, but you'll see it.
So again, we've got the link to the Indiegogo in the description. It's just a landing page, but bookmark it. The Indiegogo goes live on Tuesday. And there's the survey that's in the description as well. So definitely fill that out as well. And let's see, where can we find Horicon on social media? At horicon.com on Instagram,
Yes. So we did Horicon DOTCOM, and it's on Instagram and Facebook, a little bit on Twitter. Haven't gotten there yet, but Instagram is the best place to see everything. You can also visit our website. It's really just a landing page right now, but it does have that survey, and you can read a little bit more about our team right now. And then I put the link for the Indiegogo account on there, and we're going to go live Tuesday.
Very cool. Looks
Yeah.
like we've got a couple of people trying to join the. Well, one guy joins and keeps dropping out. He must not have a very good connection. But if you can hop on, hop on. Will there be a Horicon newsletter to register for? That's a good question. I'm sure there'll.
Sounds familiar. I think I know who that is. Definitely. So, but it will not be a harassing newsletter. I can promise you that, especially if it's starting out with me doing it. It'll happen like once a month. But definitely newsletter.
Just to keep you in the loop when it comes to all things Horicon.
Yeah. We have to.
Yeah, there you go. So
Need
there's
some writers. So where did he go? Who was that? Your friend?
Lauren.
Lauren.
Yeah.
Maybe Lauren needs to help us with that.
Okay, we'll get in touch with Lauren about doing some writing for the newsletters. Although it would be, he's very dark. He has a very dark. He's just dark.
I like it. I have a very dark sense of humor.
Okay.
I don't think everyone appreciates it.
You two will get along then.
Good.
So check out Horicon.com on Instagram. That's the #1 social media source for them. You've got the website. You've got some information in the description. Go and check all of that out. Anything else you want to say in closing before we call it a night?
I think that's it, but don't be afraid to reach out. We are answering our Instagrams, and our email is office@horicon.com. So the survey, reach out if you have ideas. We really, really want to make this personal to our fans. It's really, really important to us. So don't be a stranger. And, thank you. And thank you for having me. This was fun. Yeah. Way less scary than I thought it would be.
Oh, no. It's all good. Dan asks, what about music bands? Or is there any plans to maybe have like a horror-themed band, like a concert kind of thing?
That is definitely something we want to do, and it's one of my questions. My fantasy would obviously be Rob Zombie, Manson, Papa Roach. I actually got to see Manson and Rob Zombie this summer, and that was last summer already. COVID. It was amazing. So that's my fantasy. We'll see. I can't give Benny any more challenges. He's going to kill me after this anyway. But that is one of my questions on the survey so that we can get an idea of what people want for musicians.
Well, since you mentioned COVID, yes. I think we should cover that base too. That's a big elephant in the room. Let's just say that by October of next year, we've not had very much of a change. We're still in a similar place that we are now. What would be the plan with the Horicon at that point?
So at that point, if we cannot have an event, we will definitely go online, and anyone that has purchased their passes or done their perks for Indiegogo that are passes will be good for 2022. Like, we're not going to let that be a problem. The other part is, if we are able to go live, we will put every safety precaution humanly possible in place. There will be the sanitizers. There will be distancing. We will use up all the space we can to make sure people have that comfort, but we're not going to let anyone lose out just because of this. We will go online and we'll do a lot of fun stuff and expand it. Ideally, one of the parts of our website I actually totally forgot to talk about, which is crazy because it's one of my favorites, is we want all of our vendors that are going to be in the exhibit hall and the artists and things like that to have their own page on the website so that they can actually talk to people and see what people want to see there. And then artists, especially those that are up and coming, to have their own page so that they can sell stuff and share their artwork with people. So we will definitely make it happen online, and it will be cooler than most conventions that have had to go online will be.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I think what's great is that you're really shooting for the stars here. And I think if you're able to do half of what you want to do, it's still going to be a very special, I think, event that's going to be accessible to disabled people. There's going to be great security there. It's going to be in a wonderful venue that's well organized. And we've laid down the gauntlet to Benny as far as who we want to see there. And I think number one on that list is Kevin Bacon.
God.
So we've put a big challenge out to Benny, but I think Benny is up for the challenge. You gotta go big or you gotta go home, right?
Yes, I completely agree. I'm like, we got to talk to people about what they're saying in the chat, though.
What are we saying here? Cannibal Corpse.
Don't drink peroxide or bleach, please.
Yes, Daniel.
Stay
That's
home
not
and wear your masks and be safe so that we can all go to Horicon next year.
exactly.
Don't ruin Halloween again.
Will the pass allow behind the scenes? You did say something about a VIP.
Yes. So there's going to be some VIP events. And then we have been showing some behind the scenes. Tell me more of what you're thinking. What are you wanting to see behind the scenes?
I think what would be great for like a VIP would be like maybe like I don't know, like a dinner, like a round table dinner with some of the celebs. I think have some VIPs with the celebs, like a little mingle thing, or like maybe something at the bar, or even like a smaller, more intimate kind of meet and greet Q&A kind of thing. Would be very cool.
I would love to do that with some too. I think that will be really important, and it's more meaningful. You're not just standing there going, will you sign this for me? Like, you're actually meeting and talking to someone.
Exactly.
I really want to see more of that. So
Jamie says you rock, Joanna.
I saw that. Thank you. I'm like, I don't know you, but now I do.
Well, Jamie is from
Eternal horror.
Joanna needs to do singing. Well, Jamie is from the Northeast. And
Cool.
again, Jamie, you weren't here before we mentioned this, but even though Horicon is going to be sort of the first year is going to be in Phoenix, there's a good possibility that the show can expand, go on tour, hit different states, so don't fret just because you're not near Phoenix. So,
and if not, come out.
Ask her if she can get the Merkins, please, says Toronto Freddy. Do you know who the Merkins are?
I don't. Please don't judge me.
You should look them up on YouTube. They do incredible, like, parody covers of songs.
I might know who they are.
Yeah, like they dress as Pinhead and Jason and Freddy, and like I'll be stalking you and stuff like that.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be very cool.
Yes. Okay. Jamie's heart. I don't know who you are, but we need to be best friends because I have the same wish for Devon Sawa. Yeah. Yeah, that would be my ultimate. And I don't care how dorky it is, but Idle Hands is still my favorite horror movie because it's hilarious. And my mom goes around quoting and while we're at it, let's clean the whole Evan house every time we've watched it.
There you go. You guys have bonded over Devon Sawa.
I know.
There you
we're
go.
best friends now.
Yeah. Oh,
cool.
Goodness. Well, we've been going for about an hour and 15 minutes. I think we've got a lot of ideas thrown around and some good suggestions, a lot of great questions from the audience. And again, if you're watching this after the fact, the link to the survey and to the Indiegogo landing page is in the description. Go and check them out and follow Horicon.com on Instagram.
Yeah, and reach out, and maybe we can do this more. So
yeah, definitely. We can as we get closer to the event and things are sort of panning out and things are getting set in stone, we can maybe do a follow-up and talk about how things have, because we're really sort of at the foundation level at this point. And once we get a little later on, we can kind of touch base again and see how we've grown.
Totally.
Yeah.
And see what's changing and what's getting better and better.
Exactly. There it is, at horicon.com.
Oh, yeah. That's Nikki. She is amazing.
Very cool. Hi, Nikki. Well, this has been a lot of fun. And Joanna, I want to thank you very much for taking the time out to talk to all of us.
Oh, no, thank you. Seriously, it was a pleasure, and I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Let me give some shout outs here. Shout out to Sean Sr., Eternal Horror, Biscuit, Slimy Green, Creep Machine. What a great name. My buddy Dan, Jamie, Toronto Freddy, Al, Drax, Brian Trash, Pepper Jack, Jess Graham, Nicolette, of course, N3N Clothing. Do you make big and tall clothing? That's my question.
It's very important.
It is. Daniel Duncan, Michael Vandern. Let's see who else is with us tonight. I shouted out Biscuit, I'm pretty sure. But Biscuit, you had some great questions tonight, man. Very
yes,
welcome.
totally.
Glenn Mercado. Thank you for joining us, Glenn.
You guys should follow him.
Very cool. All right. And so thanks again for everybody who tuned in tonight. It was a lot of fun. And I'm really excited about Horicon. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it grows and seeing how everything comes together, because I'm really excited. I think it could be something really unique, and it could be a game changer, I think. So I'm excited.
I am too. I'm really excited, and I'm even more excited after talking to all your fans. It's been so fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to play everybody out with some music. Again, check out the links in the description. The Indiegogo launches on Tuesday. Thanks so much for tuning in again, and we'll see you again real soon. Have a great weekend. Peace.
Bye.